Genius Kids. Cultivating love for learning.
Chapter 7. Understanding database concepts using MS Excel and MS Access. Friends, as the size of spreadsheet increases, it becomes tough to manage, search or change data in it. Thus, we need a database. Let's read more about database concepts. Database. A database is a collection of objects that allows you to store data, organize it and retrieve it in any way you want. You create structures called tables that allow you to organize the data so that you can easily search and filter the data. You can also create forms that let you input the data into the tables and then you create reports that print selected information from the tables. For example, if you run a publication house and want to have a database of all your books and authors, you would create a books table, authors table, etc. A database table consists of fields. A column in a table is called a field. It contains only a specific type of data, assigned using data types. In the books table, if you want to store information about the book's title, ID, price, subject, etc., you will have to define all these fields in your table as columns. Field name. The column label for the field in a table is called its field name. When you get into many tables, you will run into duplicate field names if proper naming conventions are not used. If you create an ID column in books table and the same in author table, it may later create a problem for you. So better to use the first letter of the table name as a prefix for field name, B ID for books ID, A ID for author's ID. Record. A row in a table is called a record. Primary key. If you set any column as primary key, then no value in that column could repeat, all would be unique. Like if in books table you create BID as a column which is set as primary key, then no two books could have same identification number. Since the ID doesn't have to be anything in particular, we can make it auto number, meaning that the first book will automatically get BID is equal to 1, the second will be BID is equal to 2, etc. Lists. If the B subject column contains value from a specific list, physics, chemistry, maths, computer, then you can assign this list to that particular column. This reduces typing errors, saves time and helps us to search efficiently. Default values. If you know that majority of books are on mathematics, make the default for B subject is equal to maths. You can change while feeding data if you want to enter any other subject. This helps us to reduce mistakes and save time. To create a database, you can use MS Access, SQL, etc. You can even use MS Excel as database. Using Excel as database. You are already aware of the sorting and filtering options available in Excel. Now we will learn to create a form in MS Excel 2010. Creating form in Excel 2010. 1. In MS Excel 2010, forms are hidden. To view form options, click on File tab, Options button. Brain Booster. A database management system is a software tool that makes it possible to organize data in a database. It is often referred to by its acronym, DBMS. 2. Click Quick Access toolbar from the left side menu of the Excel Options dialog box. 3. Select commands not in the ribbon from the drop-down list of Choose Commands from list box. 4. Select Form from the displayed list. 5. Click Add button. 6. Finally click OK button. 7. You will find the Form button added onto the Quick Access toolbar. 8. Select any cell from the Excel sheet containing data and click the Form button from the Quick Access toolbar. 9. Form will appear, showing the records values on it. Now you can easily edit data, add new records using Add button, delete records using Delete button, move to previous or next record using Find Prev or Find Next button, and search using Criteria button. Using Access as database. Microsoft Access is the database application from the Microsoft Office suite of applications. It is a powerful personal database and data manipulation tool that is also widely used in many small businesses. To create a database in MS Access. 1. Click Start button greater than all programs greater than Microsoft Office greater than MS Access 2013. 2. MS Access window will appear. Click Blank Database. 3. Type the file name in the file name box and browse the folder where you want to store it. 4. Click on the Create button. Access objects. Navigation pane stores the objects in your database. Objects are always displayed with an icon. The icon tells you the object type, table, query, form, report, macro, and module. Objects. Tables. In Access, data is stored in tables. A table is a set of columns and rows, with each column referred to as a field. Each value in a field represents a single type of data. Each row of a table is referred to as a record. Queries. You may use queries to retrieve specific data from your database and to answer questions about your data. For example, you can use a query to find the names of the students from your database who has scored more than 80% marks. Forms. Forms give you the ability to choose the format and arrangement of fields. You can use a form to enter, edit, and display data. Reports. Reports organize or summarize your data so you can print it or view it on screen. You often use reports when you want to analyze your data or present your data to others. Macros. Macros give you the ability to automate tasks. You can use a macro to add functionality to a form, report, or control. Macros are created by choosing from a list of macro actions. Modules. Like macros, modules give you the ability to automate tasks and add functionality to a form, report, or control. Modules are written in Visual Basic for applications. Data types. Data types are used to declare which type of data would be stored in a field. Data type. Description. Text. Stores text or numbers that don't require calculations. Can store up to 255 characters. For example, address, phone number, name, etc. Memo. Long text. Used for long pieces of text such as notes and long descriptions. Can store up to 64,000 characters. Number. Stores numeric information on which calculations can be performed. For example, marks, salary, etc. Date, time. Used for dates and times. Stores information like date of birth, date of joining, etc. Currency. Used for currency. Prevents rounding during calculation. Yes, no. Logical data. Used when only one of two values is valid. Yes, no, true, false, etc. For example, Indian, yes or no. Auto number. Used with primary key fields. Generates sequential number whenever a new record is added. For example, serial number. OLE. Used to attach an OLE object such as Word document, Excel spreadsheet, or PowerPoint presentation. Hyperlink. Used to store hyperlinks. Attachment. Used to store attachments. Lookup wizard. Used to insert value in a field by choosing from a list, query, or another table. Activity 1. Decide the fields required in a contact information directory database. Assign data types to the fields of database. Also set primary key and default values for each field. Creating table in a datasheet view. By default, your Access window opens in datasheet view mode. 1. Double-click on the ID field to rename it. By default, the first field data type is set as auto number. 2. Click on Click to add to insert new field. A drop-down list showing available data type options appears. Select the required data type. 3. Type the field name. Similarly, create all the fields assigning appropriate data type. Note that you will not be able to add data to the first field as it is auto number. As soon as you add data to any other field, auto-generated number will be assigned to the first field. 4. You can easily add data like you do in Excel. To save table, right-click on the table name Table 1 and select Save from the menu. Save as window will appear. Enter the new name and press OK. Activity 2. Select Design View by clicking the down arrow present below View button on Home tab and analyze the difference between the Design View and Datasheet View. The shortcut buttons for Design and Datasheet View are provided at the right end of the status bar. Creating queries. You can use a query to view a subset of your data or to answer questions about your data. For example, if you want to view a list of students scoring more than 50 in maths, you can restrict your list to those students. To create a select query of such type, 1. Select the Create tab. 2. Click Query Design button. 3. Show Table window will appear. Select the table and click on Add button. 4. Then click on Close button. 5. In the field row, select the fields you want to display. Select Table Name if you want to display all the columns of a table. 6. If you want to select based on some criteria like students scoring 50 marks in maths, then write it in criteria row, selecting the field name in the field cell on which this criteria should be applied. You can add more criteria using OR. 7. You can also sort the table as per any column data in ascending or descending order, if required. 8. Uncheck the Show checkbox from Maths field as we have already selected all the fields of the table for display. Keeping the checkbox checked in other field will make duplicate copies of that field in the result. 9. Click on Run button to execute your query. The result is shown in Datasheet view. 10. To save a query, right-click on the query name and select Save from the menu. To make changes to your query, select Design View from the right-click menu. Recap. A database is a collection of objects that allow you to store data, organize it and retrieve useful information back from it. A column in a table is called a field containing a specific type of data, assigned using data types. If a field is set as primary key, then no two values in that column could be same. Excel allows us to create forms to easily insert, manage and view data. MS Access is a powerful personal database and management application from the Microsoft Office suite. MS Access allows you to search data by creating queries.
Like, share and subscribe.